What's up? Welcome to our What's Up podcast. Hi, my name is Taulauniu. This is a podcast where we interview interesting New Zealanders. We hope you enjoy our podcast.
Always, all days, all nights, sing do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the What's Up podcast. Today I'm here with Yoka and she will be telling us a bit about herself.
Sure. First of all, it's good to see you again. You did a great job in helping out with the Ōtara STEAM Festival, so thank you for helping out, being a big part of it. So my name is Iokapeta Magele-Suamasi. People call me Yoka, and I am from Ōtara.
Can you tell me more about your art you do?
So the art. So I have been doing art my whole life. I wasn't doing it full time, like paid, but I do all different types of art. So, yeah.
Can you maybe list down some art you do?
Sure.
Specific art.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess. So when I was at Mayfield, the sort of art I used to like doing was like drawing and painting, and then I used to love at Mayfield doing working with dyes. Remember doing dyes and stuff. And my favourite, if I think back to my earliest artworks I used to do at Mayfield Primary, I remember with Miss Griffiths back in the day. So if you have any people that remember Miss Griffiths back in the 70s, and I really loved working on the brown paper, you know, the brown paper, like the ones in the hallway. I loved working on that and then working with dyes. When I went to Ferguson Intermediate, then I started to do more hands-on art. And so at Fergie, I was introduced. I remember we did string work, and then as well as string work, we did printmaking. So printmaking was cool as. And then when I went to Taulauniu College, sorry I didn't go Hillary.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't beat me up. No. So when I went to Taulauniu College, then I was introduced more to, now it was Mr. Hobriggs, Mr. Williamson. And so I was just introduced more to still lifes and that. And then I went to AGS. And then I was introduced to kind of like, at Taulauniu I was introduced to Pacifica Māori art. Then when I went to AGS, Auckland Girls Grammar, they introduced me to more like European artists. And so there's a whole lot of art I used to do, pottery and stuff. And then now my past few years, then it was more like art education, stuff like that. Have you ever been to Auckland Art Gallery?
No.
Gallery? Oh, okay, it's good. Don't worry, because there's heaps of galleries here out in Ōtara and South Auckland. So it was more like exhibition making. So now I kind of just make art for when I get an opportunity to exhibit. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a long story, eh?
Oh, sorry.
Feeling sleepy?
No. Thank you. What made you start getting into art?
That's a good question. I kind of believe that that God actually made me that way because there was nothing that really influenced me at the age of 4 and 5. So it was kind of embedded. I think it was embedded in me at a cellular level. It was ingrained kind of in my DNA. Yeah. And my earliest memory of making art before school was preschool, of making art in Sunday school. So it's kind of like, I would just say that's the way that God made me. Yeah.
What was your first art and why, and does it have an explanation behind it?
My first artwork from when I was a preschooler, or do you mean?
Oh.
You tell me, what
anything.
would you put? Anything?
Probably when you started to get more interested in it.
Okay. I would say that my first kind of completed artwork, that would be school. So school was always that. But I think my first experience with artwork and when I knew that I saw the world differently or that I was an artist was when I was about 4. And that was when I was in Sunday school. at a church called Ōtara Good Shepherd. It's on Johnson Road, next to Mayfield Shops.
Oh, yeah.
That's a early childhood centre now, and I was drawing one of the Bible characters, and our Sunday school class was in the kitchen at that time, and I remember the Sunday school teacher looking at the artworks after, and then saying, "Oh, you are going to be an artist." And I felt funny because I already knew I was an artist. But when I looked at my artworks, all the other kids had drawn stick figures, and I had drawn kind of like body shapes. So I would say I didn't know I was an artist, but I knew that I saw the world differently to some people around me. Yeah, which is something you find out as an artist later. Yeah, no, you find out very young.
So I see the artwork at the back. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd bring in one of the artworks that I do, and that's an unfinished artwork. So that pretty much just sits on our piano at home. So that says, "Don't tell me what to do." And so my family, we've lived in Ōtara for about 52 years now, and the majority of them live in Australia now. But that was a common saying that my dad used to use, and he used to say, "Don't tell me what to do," and emphasise the me. And so, I just thought I'd just do a text-based work, and I just to acknowledge that and remember that, because my dad's not living in Ōtara anymore. And also it reminds me of the times when our home, I still live in the family home, was full with all my siblings, and now our grandkids are grown up, and so I just always just remember that. And it's unfinished. It's just something that it's kind of like a reject artwork, and it's just a simple text-based work, and if it's just made of beer bottle caps. Because, sometimes when my dad would say it, he was holding a beer bottle. But, it was like good memories of my family, and acknowledge my family here. I've got my PR manager, Ezra, nephew in the background, the amazing Vinny, and then also just a shout out to the Magele family, Blampede Magele family here in Australia. But thank you for asking.
You're welcome. What's a piece of advice you'd give to younger people who are interested in art?
My advice is that if you like art and you're still at school, well then make the most of what you have at school, because sometimes we don't realise till we finish school just how expensive those materials are. And so my advice is make the most of all the materials that you've got at school. Right now it's, use them. Make the most of your art class and your teachers, people that are there to guide you. But if you love art, for me it's like just draw as much as you can, or, there are some galleries, if you've never been to a gallery out here, we've got Fresh Gallery.
That's all right. I could look for my camera roll.
You what?
That's my camera roll. That's my gallery.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay, you just schooled me.
Yeah.
Tell me, I got a question for you. Tell me more about that. For your generation, how you see art.
So how I saw art was when I was year 5.
Yeah.
And there was camera people around, and I started was eager to know what it was. Yeah. So then I took my first photo on the camera, and I was holding it, and I looked at it, and I was like, this is actually cool. So then I got into music and stopped getting into that. But now, since I'm into music and photography, I put them together and basically like to take shots of the music centers where I'm in, and then I can just record myself singing, and then yeah.
Oh, you're amazing. Can I ask you another question? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to ask you too many questions because it's your podcast.
That's all right.
Yeah. So tell me, how old were you when you knew you were, let's just say, creative or whatever?
I'd say I was 8, 9 at the time. Yeah. Then that's when I knew.
How?
Everyone had there are options on doctors, lawyers, but I wanted to be something that was more than that.
Yeah.
Because the kids back then, they were only doing it for money. Like, the more money, the more richer they think. But I thought, like, in, like, jobs, like, money wasn't anything to me. So then I only started going for, like, jobs that actually I'm passionate about, not the jobs that other people want to do, or, like, not me following into my, like, other family's footsteps. Like, just want to honestly, like, be on my own buzz and do what I want to do. So that, who knows, like, maybe one of my family members or someone from, I don't know, whoever wants to follow me is passionate about the same thing I do, then, like, I can help or mentor them. Yeah.
That's cool, eh? Not there's, and what has helped you over the years? Like, who's inspired you in your journey?
Oh, I'd say my nana and my best friend I grew up with.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
So my nana, back then, she used to, like, she was born and raised here. Oh, wait, born and raised in Sa, actually, came here. And back in Sa, they used to do these onga beses in church, if you know. And they used to sing, and she was the harmonizing person.
Cool.
And she was all about music. And my close best friend, she was, like, really into photography. So she'd take photos of me singing or videos of me singing and this and that. So that's kind of the reason why I'm kind of into photography and music.
So you and your friend are producing your content now. You're just producing it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. How do you share it?
Oh, we have our own Chromebooks.
Yeah.
But so I go over to hers, and then we do stuff at school as well. And then sometimes I go to her house, and then we have, like, our own computers and stuff to connect to YouTube and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just use that on our own day-to-day basis to see whatever we can do.
So, you know, in the short time that I've spoken to you, do you realise that your journey, how old are you?
13.
13, that your journey has significantly surpassed anything that I could do in my journey. Do you realise that? So I'm letting you know now that I'm, like, amazed and inspired by what you and your friend are doing. Yeah, it's very cool. So how do you, so you know how, like, people like me, because I'm, like, old, back in the olden days.
Yeah.
So how do you think, how would you like us to support you if you need our support, but what can we do to support, like, you?
I like to, like, know more about the olden day music.
Yeah?
I'm into, like, 20s, 90s music, hip-hop and R&B.
R&B?
Love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me who your favourite singers are.
So my first has to go to Tupac. Like,
Wow.
My second, T-Pain. I love him. And my third has to go to Beyonce.
Really?
Yeah.
You're part of the Beehive. Beehive?
Yes.
I'm so not cool.
That's right.
What do you call it?
Beehive.
Beehive. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tupac, T-Pain, Beyonce. Very cool. Do you like any other types of music? Is just R&B and hip-hop?
Like hip-hop and genre. Like more of those stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I'm not into, like, the music we have now. I like to have the music that we had back then.
Really?
Yeah, because it's cool. I like
How come
listening
you
to
don't
it.
like the music now? Besides the Illuminati running it.
It's...
Jokes. So how come you don't like, tell me, because I don't like the music, but I'm old, but you tell me why you don't like it.
Too much about, like, having to want to, like, be upset about a breakup, and then there's a song about this, and then the passing away song, and then adding photos. I kind of find that, like, disrespectful.
Yeah,
Like,
interesting.
Like, if one of my family members died, I wouldn't post a song, honestly. Yeah, because it kind of breaks me a little bit, so I wouldn't do that. And yeah, so I just turned to olden day songs. Like, love them.
I like that.
Yeah.
So do you know Yeah. Thank. No, I don't want to say any songs I know because that will just add to my not coolness. I do like. Do you like jazz and stuff like that?
Like jazz, like in slow and steady songs like those.
I don't even know what slow and steady songs means. Isn't this great? Like we're seeing the generational sort of. But I'm inspired by all that. Yeah. What? So, is it the poetry of Tupac's lyrics that you like, or is it?
It's not like his lyrics. Oh, it's his lyrics.
Or what he stands for.
Yeah, what he stands for and the history he made before.
Yeah.
Yeah, his passing. And yeah, like, and even his sayings, like, it just keeps reminding me, like an everyday reminder that I'm more than just anything and anyone in the world. Because his quotes actually mean something. And so, yeah, that's why I really like him for his music. And, yeah.
Are there any Kiwi artists that you like?
A really hard pass. Something's, not gonna say anything bad, but just doesn't
connect to your... Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you were a singer in New Zealand, I'll be like, oh, I know her. That's her. My favorite singer.
I am a singer in New Zealand. A bad singer.
Guys, we love her for her singing.
So, I just for your listeners and all that stuff, it was cool to see you as part of the STEM Fest. Yeah. And that was cool because you were the first person I stamped. You reminded me. Yeah. So that's something that you're part of. Do you do a lot of leadership stuff?
Yeah, I'm a counsellor at my school. And I'm aiming to be a counsellor in college because, now that we've got new opportunities, I'm aiming for my academic and leadership, but also want to still put in a little effort for art, music, and photograph. Yeah. Since now we have that now, because they updated it to our school. So I absolutely love that. And I'll be joining those next year.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, Yoko, for being my guest today and
welcome.
Telling me about your amazing talents you do.
Thank you for inviting me on your amazing podcast.
Thank you for coming.
It's all right.
And thank you everyone for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.
Always, all days, all nights, sing do I do.